Welcome to the Benz Night Show. It is the 19th of August, 2020, and it is now our 26th episode 26 makaigsunan sa the Benz Night Show. I hope klaro ang atong bagong studio. Pag-renovate sa atong studio makaigsunan. Din sa luyo. Okay. Anyway, I hope you are all right. Unya, pwede sad mo kuan ako. Pwede sad mo Okay. Okay, pwede sad mo ni. Pwede sad mo comment o mo padala sa inyong mga messages. Wala ning set up ka diod kay murag limtanin nato kanina ga. Okay. As usual na limtan. Nagkan kini siya check up po nun Isudin ko ano kita. Saan na ni? Isud ning kita may tanan. No? Kita may alright. So, kita may anchor, kita may technician, kita may traffic, kita may switcher sa mga ngana na mga terms nila. Okay, so I hope you're ready there. Kaya ba kung natug na siguro mo ron mo kaigsunan, sorry lang yung kayo. Na ako mong na kuan. Ako mong na tugaw karong panahon na or pwede mong matug and tomorrow you can always review. Nganong na-late ko karon kaninang hapon wala ko ka-attend sa akong ubang programs. I was looking after a dengue patient and akong kuan ba? Tabangan. Okay, tabangan. And then karon sa I was doing some research nga I don't want to be interrupted. I think there are three things that you should have known about me by now. Number one, tapulan ko if I don't like, to do a particular thing or research. Okay, ko ano? Kapoy. If possible, I don't want to start something because it's difficult. I feel tired. I'm so lazy. Number two, but once I'm into it, once I'm conducting research, once I'm studying, once I'm engaged in it, don't interrupt me. Because my train of thought is there. I don't want you to sort of sorry, Miranda. I don't want you to interrupt my train of thought and interrupt my work. Number three, I would like to do things that nobody else can do. So, kung makaya na suban, sila'y pabuhata. Ang di na makaya, may akong buhaton because I consider it as a challenge. It doesn't mean anything. It's just my personal quirks. Kung na mga doktor din nga, makaayos ninyong sipon o gubo, okay. Pero doktor ninyo, makaayos inyong dengue, dili kayo, that's me. Na doktor ninyo nga, makaayos sa inyong COVID, okay. Pero kung dili sa kayo si COVID, ako. So that's my line. In effect, that's my style. I would like to do things that ordinarily cannot be done by others. It's like a challenge for me or kapuyan mo go, let them do it. Sila nila pabuhatan, kaya mo na nila. Hindi na makaya, nga rin ako. So, that's my personal quirk. Like, sometimes in there's a research, ang di lang makaya ng research, I'll do it. So, it's the same thing what drove me to invent the hyper-rich theory. I studied economics more than any ordinary economist. In fact, even if you're a PhD in economics, you will not look at the hyper-rich theory. You can't invent it. And then when it's invented, you'll find it's crazy. But then later on, people are now talking that, even in the US, they need to raise the minimum wage to help the economy. And the pandemic has proven that the hyper-wage theory is correct. That what is important to the economy is purchasing power, or the chance, the opportunity to express or channel that purchasing power. So, sa atong kuan, wa man ta. Wa man ta sa atong, unsay na ni, sa atong pandemic, wa man tay economic activities kay gisirado man practically tanan. So, ubang nasod ang gisirado ang katuramang mga bars and restaurants nga close contact sa ato, including manufacturing, gisirado man. Gisirado din ang Amazon sa US, man. Gisirado at nato atong public transportation. Gisirado nato ang, you have the economic lockdown, public transportation lockdown, we have the human lockdown. Totally unnecessary. Now, I will tell you why it's totally necessary, because it had no effects at all. And I have been saying that since the beginning of March, and then almost every week, discuss makaigsunan sa bad COVID policies sa Pilipinas. Okay. And mana nga na-delay ko because I wanted to update, and I wanted to show the data na how bad is our COVID policy, and the fact that we haven't learned from our neighboring countries. We haven't learned from them. Okay, so okay. All right, so kinsa may na ninyo din na karon, are you sa natog na siguro ang uban ninyo? We'll just repeat. Okay, sa dili pa tang padayon makaigsunan, sorry. Sa ito mga headlines, ha? Nanana diya. Sorry. Okay. And so again, I wanted to, I was conducting research, I was updating my research, and as I mentioned, once I get into it, don't interrupt me. I don't want to be interrupted. I want to be left alone. But I would like to show our research some kind of a perspective and a viewpoint not seen by others. Only it'll take them a long time to look at it. So that's exactly what I was doing this evening mo nang wa ko makasugod sa program na yun. Okay, by the way, a young girl might be able to solve the COVID problem. About 16 years old, high school. It's in our... Okay. Kuyaw ba yan? Kuyaw nga that young girl. Okay. Okay, so tanawan ninyo ang atong crawlers here. Okay, ngani kita sa update nato sa global cases. Welcome din Wilson Herrera nga nag-monitor nato karon. Diba, nag-on ba na itong streaming? Nag-on, siguro gina itong streaming. Diba? That's siguro. Ano ko, klaro, ani. Streaming on, recording on. Okay. Alright. So, sama na yung bandari na to. Diba? Chat. Fresh. Si Francisca Santo. Sorry nakuan. Tempangan naman eh. Okay. Alright, so balik kita sa okay. Yes. And then yan, paano naman ka nga? Hindi lang ka. Yung anak. Okay, dari ka sa COVID. Okay. Okay. So, I hope klaro ta sa COVID, makaigsunan. Ang atong dashboard gikan sa Johns Hopkins University, 40 million, grabe ha, 40,118,314 and that's just what, 6 months? So, wari magandang takod na. So, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 8 months. 8 months lang. 40,118,314 there, and then sa akong likod there. 1 million. Okay, tanawa na. 1,114,765 global vets. Ang United States, 8 million na. Grabe ha, 8,156,970. O ang United States debt is 219,681. Okay. So, if you look at the map, makaigsunan, kining mapa din sa sentro. Here. Okay, yung dukan on sa naman ito mapa eh. Okay. Ano na? Kuhaan kayo ang mapa. Puwa ng kalibutan. Okay. So 8.1 worldwide, that's already 40 million. Now, what I did sa akong research na pangalan sa headlines, okay, pakita niyo akong gibuhat nga graphs. I need some graphs. Si Juanito Monteroyo, namina po makaigsunan ato sa mos YouTube. Subscribe sa mos YouTube. Luoy taon mos YouTube. Ang YouTube ra ba may nindot sa kuan? Monetization? Dili ang Facebook. Okay. So, ato ni siyang okay. Yes. Libog na magkatakan ni atong kuan sa screen. Clutter din itong screen. Ganitong cases. So, ha? Ang cases sa Hong Kong, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, akong i-discuss later on. Marisa ta sa mga headlines. Alright, so nga ta sa mga headlines mga kaigsunan. Balik ta sa atong standby. Balik ta sa atong studio. Okay, bye. Ay mong kuha niya ha. Saba niya ha. Kay ilong sa ba ya? Okay. Para ba niya itong kuha? Standby lang mo din. Shoot kayo ni tas studio. Okay na ba itong studio? Mayroon ba? Manuel Nunez, may gabi ni mo Attorney JT o mga kasibya diha listening dito sa Tacloban. Sa Tacloban eh. So, post mo ha og messages sa Facebook niya. Kamong namina sa Facebook. You like and you also make a comment. Kaya og like ra, I cannot see your like. Di na ko mabasa. But from mo comment mo, I can read your comment so I know that you're present sa itong classroom discussion. Alim mo sawa, bay. Pasluyo eh. Pick up ninyo. Ako ba na ko diyan? Okay, so Attorney JT, naminaw si Anne's Cupcake from the city of Naga. Salamat. Okay, so nga rin kita sa alright, sa mga headlines po eh. Kakuan sa tas headlines. Kabalhin ka dari dong. Mereka So, by the way ha, pila, doon lang semana, November 3 ang election. So, November 4 na. Hapit na, pila na lang. Doon lang semana, pila na kadlaw, 15, 18. Corona crisis, ang COVID-19 crisis, matod pa ni Dr. Fauci sa United States nga infectious diseases sa National Institute of Health. Ayun siya, COVID-19 would have to be really, really bad to implement a national lockdown. Di po siya okay ng national lockdown. Fauci says he's absolutely not surprised that Trump got COVID-19. Okay? Nga nung ma-surprise mo ka nga, gi-flaunt man, gi-taunt man ni Trump ang social distancing of masks, for example. European leaders face off against regions as second wave engulfs the European continent. Sa 14-year-old girl won a $25,000 prize for a discovery that could lead to a cure for COVID-19. Kanang $25,000 nga prize ha, that's ang 10,000 ang 1,000 that's $50,000. Ang 10,000 that's $500,000. Ang 20,000 that's $1 million. So, ang $25,000 $1 million ang pila man na. Hindi na okay ba ang taon eh. 1 million ang 5,000, 250,000, 1.25 million pesos. Pesos dahil, sabat ako pesos. $1,000. 5,000 pesos. Ang $10,000, 500,000 pesos. Ang $20,000, 1 million pesos. So $25,000 is okay, 5 mura ni siya kuan lagi 1.25 million. Anyway, Nabucco states reported their highest single day coronavirus counts last week. Grabe no? Last week. Sa pamuman ko Sunday pa biyaro nila. A masks kuno made the Czech Republic the envy of Europe. Now they've blown it. Anong unsam na lang ang Czech. Sa kuno ka tearful reunion caught on video as couple reunites after being separated for over 200 days. Sula ni ko. Grabe ni mga kuan. Trump's campaigning stoops to new lows as COVID crisis spikes. So ang campaign ni Trump wa naging content, pulos lagi pangaway. Kaya kita aning Nobel Prize winner ginabihan na as okay. As scientists around the world race to find a treatment for the coronavirus, a young girl among them stands out. Kini si Anika Chebrulo, 14 years old pa, gikan sa Frisco, Texas. Nakadaog sa 2020 3M Young Scientist Challenge o usa ka $25,000 prize para sa iyang discovery that could potentially help find a cure for COVID-19. Si Anika Chebrulo, ang iyang winning invention nagamit og in silico methodology to discover a lead molecule that can selectively bind to the spike protein of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. The last 2 days, I saw that there is a lot of media hype about my project, which involves the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and it reflects our collective hopes to end this pandemic as I, like everyone else, wish that we could go back to our normal lives soon. Si Anika usa ka Indian American, so gikan sa India, submitted her project when she was in 8th grade, but it wasn't always going to be focused on finding a cure for COVID-19. Initially, her goal was to use in silico methods nga ma-identify sa usa ka lead nga compound nga makabind sa protein for the influenza virus. Sa influenza. After spending so much time researching about pandemics, viruses, and drug discovery, it was crazy to think that I was actually living through something like this. Matod pa ni Anika. Because of the immense severity sa COVID-19 nga pandemic, o sa drastic impact it had on the world in such a short time, I, with the help of my mentor, changed directions to target the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Anika said she was inspired to find potential cures to viruses after learning about the 1918 flu pandemic and finding out how many people die every year in the United States despite annual vaccinations and anti-vaccine influenza drugs on the market. Anika, as an inquisitive mind and used her curiosity to ask questions about a vaccine for COVID-19, matud pa ni Dr. Cindy Moss, usa sa mga judges sa C3M Young Scientist Challenge. Her work was comprehensive and examined numerous databases. She also developed an understanding of the innovation process and is a masterful communicator. Her willingness to use her time and talent to help the world a better place gives us all hope, matud pa niya. Anika said, winning the prize and the title of top young scientist is an honor, but her work isn't that. My effort to find a lead compound to bind to the spike protein of the SARS-CoV-2 virus this summer may appear to be a drop in the ocean, but still adds to all these efforts. How I developed this molecule further with the help of virologists and drug development specialists will determine the success of these efforts. Of course, Anika also finds time to be a normal 14-year-old. By the way, ang target niya is ang coronavirus, pangitaan niya og molecule nga mopilit sa coronavirus. Murag ang kuha na to ang atong simple nga analogy na virus, gakson ni mga virus para di siya makagakos og lain. Onhan nimo og gakos. So manay iyang strategy na i-envelope niya ang virus para dili na maka-infect ang virus. Gakson niya daan para mo pilit ang virus niya sa mga molecule nga yung given to, etc. Now, that's good news. And I think that has promise. But there's one problem with that one. It is my firm belief ang humanity effects does the same thing. Alam mo kay ba na usa ka politician makaigsunan nga 2 weeks ago, gilantan na absent og 3 ka adlaw sa iyang opisina. Gilantan, gisipon, gipangilanat, murag na nagyo symptoms sa COVID. Nakaswerte lang ati nga politician kay nag-inom siya humanity during the time. Not really for COVID, but for murag yung physical maintenance. Nag-inom siya. So, diyan nasakit siya, sipon siya, tulo na kaadlaw, yun, nagpa-test siya, negative. Negative siya sa swab test. Coronavirus. Now, anyway, whatever happened, pero nagsige siya inom sa Humanity EVX. And as I have discussed this many times before, ang Humanity EVX, the action, I believe, remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I believe that the coronavirus will, the Humanity EVX will envelope the coronavirus. Iyang gakson, iyang pusasan, iyang pilitan siyang lawas sa Humanity EVX para ma-disable or ang iyang spike proteins dili na makapilit dito sa body, di siya ka-multiply. And nganong makuha na because my patients, when they take Humanity EVX, almost immediately within an hour or two, nanay initial restoration sa ilang sense of smell and taste, kunya ang ilang mga labad sa ang mga sakit sa mga kalawasan nila, mawa na, sayo na sila ginhawa, and wala mo worsen ang ilang condition. Kung wala mo worsen ang condition, unsay pasabutan ng wala mo worsen ang condition, ay pasabot na the virus can no longer attach itself to the ACE2 receptor sa human body, human cells. Di siya maka-attach. So, nagapos na ang coronavirus, napilit na ang coronavirus sa Humanity VX, murag gapos siya, gipusasan siya, gipilitan siya, gi-envelope siya, gitabunan siya sa Humanity VX, so dili na siya maka-infect. Di siya maka-grow also. Kaya kung naka-grow pa siya, nag-worsen unta ang condition. Nag-worsen ang condition. Mga na nga, sa katong 5 o 6 namatay sa August of September, 5 namatay nga mga famous personalities, ang ikaunom, ang politician sad, nga subjected to the same regimen sa katong nangamatay nga 5, kining usamay na ka-survive. Ang difference nila, na unom, nganong na difference ning usa, kay kining usa nag-inom humanity VX daan. First time. The first day pa. So, wala ma-worsen ang iyang symptoms. Kay na, as I said, mura siya na disinfect, mura na siya na disabled ang virus, gitabunan, napilitan, gikakos, gipusasan sa AVX virus. Paano diferensya? Ya, katong uban nga wa makainom, so probable ato nila nga wa sila makainom kay niya ang regimen nila maybe dili na mao ang regimen. It's no longer what is accepted sa clinical world. Kakaibaw na niya. Okay. So, muna kining 14-year-old nga si Anika, very promising, but murag naunhan na. Ano dili. Okay. Right. Okay. Sige. So, nga rin na ta makaigsunan sa akong gikuan nga research. I will share this with you. Share this with you. View. Okay. Kailangan na ko magbuhat og shortcut sa nila. Hindi ako gikapuyan kung buhat og shortcuts. Sa iyo nagunta na shortcut. Okay, ngarita sa okay, ngari. Uy, ano mga? Kiri. Properties. Ano naman? Tara. O, gato ni siyang precision daan. Okay. Ayay. Ano man eh? O, inig saka, diba? And then, ikaw diri sa size ano niya? Size. Masam na dyan sa nga naman ka nga di man ka mag-maximize. Dapat maximize ka. Aha. Dili capture ka. Point. Di man ka malihok dong. Ano ni siya? Murag i-activate ni, sorry. Ode. Okay. Move. Okay, sige. Nari na ka. Move na. Pagka-move. Okay. Sayop. Sayop. Slideshow. Magka-setup slideshow. Dates. Diyan pa ha. Kaya diri mo ni siya kung sa dapat pa. Display capture deka. Descent. Sorry, cancel. Sorry ka sa window. I know. I know. Sorry ha. Here comes the scientist. Okay. Simple. Yan lang. Relax mo ka dito mag-exo na. Narde. Balik sa tidre. Balik sa tidre. Lingaw sa ito mo diha. Mo din eh. Mo din na ka. Kuna ni. Here comes the same the seasons. Okay, so wait, okay. So, no. Ay, sorry. COVID-19. Okay. Alright. Oh, yes. Asa ka dong? Here comes. Sorry sa makaigsunan natin dito lang. Nawa man. Where? Oh. Oh. Balita. Guys. Energy. Okay, look for you here. Tara. Okay, sige na lang. Dari na. Sorry. Remove ka dong. Saan makadara? Alright, sige. So, muna akong gi-update makaigsunan ang atong data diri. So, if you can see on the left, nasa wala, country, Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Philippines. Ang capital city nila Hong Kong, Singapore, Seoul, Tokyo, Taipei City proper, Metro Manila, and then included here is New York State. Ang population sa largest city sa Hong Kong is 7.5 million, Singapore 5.8 million, South Korea 9.8 million sa population city niya. 13 Japan, Tokyo City proper 13.5 million, Taipei City proper 2.6 million, Metro Manila 13.5 million, New York City 8.4 million. So, people per square kilometer sa mong area is for Hong Kong 98,000 people per square kilometer, for Singapore 8,000 people per square kilometer, for South Korea 16,000 people per square kilometer sa ilaning metro area sa capital, Japan 6.2 million people per square kilometer, Taiwan 9.7 million people per square kilometer, and then the Philippines 22,000 people per square kilometer, and New York City 11,000 people per square kilometer. Now, kaning kung kuha niyo sa data makaigsunan, I started compiling this data May 1. Ang dates sa May 1, okay, dates sa May 1 for Hong Kong, only 4 died from the beginning until May 1. From the beginning sa pandemic. Sa Singapore, only 16 died from the beginning up to May 1. South Korea, only 250 died. Sa Tokyo, sa Japan, only 455 died, May 1. Sa Taiwan, only 6 people died. Sa Philippines, only 579 people died. Pero mas dako na siya compare sa ibang countries. Sa nga atong kung compare. Ang New York City, at that time, already 18,600 died. New York State, sorry. New York State. Okay. Now, on October 19, ang Hong Kong, from 4, nahimong 105 yung deaths. From May 1 to October 19, so that's May, June, July, August, September, October. So, about 5.5 months. Since for 5 months, from 4, it became 105. Ang infected cases sa Hong Kong was only 1,039. Now, it's 5,257. Gamay raglukso. Singapore, they had 16 deaths up to May 1. Now, up to October 19, that's 9 p.m. today, they had 28 deaths. Only. Now, on May 1, Singapore had only 17,101 cases. Now, they have 57,915 cases. Most of these cases are due to their migrant workers. Hindi kayo mo follow sa instructions. So, ano siya? 57,915. Ang Seoul, that's 250 deaths. And cumulative until May 1. Now, cumulative up to October 13, they only had 444 deaths. So, Seoul just added 194 deaths over 4 months. For Japan, they had 45 deaths and 1,674 deaths by October 19. That's today, tonight. So, na-increase sila of 1,219. And their cases from 14,305, it became 93,192. Now, Manila, Philippines. Philippines. On May 1, the total deaths for May 1 for the Philippines was only 579 here. 579. The total deaths for May 1. But for today, it has risen from 579 to 6,607, or total of 6,096 increase. Ha? Ang Korea, salbi ang Taiwan nadugangan usa, Singapore nadugangan og 12, sa South Korea nadungagan og 194. Ang Japan nadungagan 1,219. Ang Pilipinas nadungagan og 6,096. From 1 up to. The other hand, ang New York, 18,600 up to, ang patay ha, 33,1057 sa New York. Ang infected sa New York on May 1, you already had 308,314. By October 19 tonight, they had 484,031 cases. New York State. New York State. Not New York City. New York State. Worldwide, May 1, there were only 239,000 deaths. 39,447. Deaths October 19, 1,114,391 deaths. in just a matter of 5.5 months. Ang infected, up to May 1, since the beginning of the pandemic, worldwide, 3.4 million. May 1. Now, October 19, 40,088,000. 40 million ang cases. Yung saka siya by 36 million makaigsunan in just a matter of 5 months. Nakita na ninyo, ano siya. Now, nakoy lang slide, pakita ninyo. Kini siya. Ako ginigbatag PowerPoint kasi itong ganahan mga ngayon Nana siya chart. This is the people density. People per square kilometer sa metro area sa capital cities. Now, for a sense of magnitude and proportion, a square kilometer is the land area covered by a square whose side is only 1,000 meters. So, 1,000 meters by 1,000 meters, mauna siya area. Now, in Hong Kong, look at the charts, taas kayo, nasa wala. That's 98,199. 98,199 people per square kilometer. Singapore, nurse ubos Kaduha. Singapore, 7,989 people per square kilometer. Seoul City proper, 16,208 people per square kilometer. That means 1,000 meters by 1,000 meters. Tokyo City proper, 6,169 people per square kilometer. Taipei City, 9,736 people per square kilometer. Metro Manila, 21,761 people per square kilometer. So, tanawa ng chart. Look at the chart. Look at the chart. So, in theory, look at the chart. Kita New York dia. May siguro ning what unta ni atong naong na. Paano to nitong naong kay samok. Photos. Okay. So, muna siya. Ang chart. Kumulihok to. Lihok saan? Okay. So, muna siya ang chart. Okay, so muna, ang Hong Kong, look at the chart sa Hong Kong, sa ilang population density. Layo ra kayong ubang nasod. In terms of population density, that means to say, in terms of possible infection and deaths, ang Hong Kong sa mga major cities, major metropolitan world-class cities, may unang daghan nagmamatay. Dili ang New York. Kinag 98,000 people per square kilometer, an area 1,000 meters by 1,000 meters. Mo ba na? Mo siguro square kilometer Di ba? So, based on that alone, Kaingon tata nga ang Hong Kong may magrabihan. Sunod. Manan niyang chart. Sita ingon nga dagang namatay. Oh, look at that. This is the comparative, cumulative deaths. Man akong gibuhat magkaigsunan, mura sa sunod ani ako na lang mag-IATF Ang research sa IATF useless. Di sila ang ilang research, ang ilang data, they cannot provide us an insight into the failure or success of a policy. Remember walay transportation lockdown sa ubang nasod nga itong gi-mention diri gi-compare, the HSSJT. Wala say wala gi-shutdown lang economy, wala gi-shutdown ilang mga factories, wala shutdown ilang mga businesses. Ang gi-shutdown katurang mga restaurants, mga karaoke bars, those leisure but the economy wala. Cumulative deaths. May 1 ang blue, May October 19 ang orange. Sa tanawa ni ang Hong Kong. On May 1, ang ilang namatay, 4 ilang namatay. Pag October 19, 105. From 4 to 105. Singapore, from 16 to 18. May 1 versus October 19. South Korea, from 240 to 444. 444. We're talking about deaths, May 1 to 444. Ang Japan, 455 to 1,657. Ang Taiwan, from 6 up to 7. Philippines, May 1, 579 deaths. Sus, pag-abot na sa October 19, 6,635 deaths. Kung nakita na ninyo, ang New York State, May 1, namatyan sa 18,600. Saan naman taning, di man ni kamao ni Amerika? By October 19, ang total namatay, 33,357 sa New York. Sus, gabi ang Taiwan, di ko makita sa mapa. Okay, 6 ug 7 na po niya. Ang uban, 38,000, 33,000 sa New York. So, cumulative deaths na, tanaw ang Pilipinas. Compare mo sa Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan. And the Philippines, of all of these countries nga itong gipuan, nag-economic lockdown, nag-transportation lockdown, nag-human lockdown. Huwag yapon mo kasabot. Mayor, gobernador, senador, congressman, president, IATF, DOH. Samantaon mo, huwag yapon mo kakuha na. Tanawa ang chart. Look at the chart. Tanawa. Look at the chart. Na-zoom naman ginabi. Puslan mang na-zoom. Look at the chart. Ang Hong Kong 4 namatyan, May 1, 105. Singapore from 16 to 28, South Korea from 250 to 444, Japan from 455 to 1674, Taiwan from 6 to 7, Philippines 579 to 6675. O kining New York State from 18,600. So, mungutan na kinsa may successful nga pandemic manager. Countries nga kung Singapore, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan. We should study what they did right. Like yung ma-chart na, no? Kasi may numbers, mag-istorya ta. But it took me, you can just imagine how many hours it took me to complete this. Mag-plug in pakas numbers. Kaya ang chart ba na to, dili ba ito contiguous, dili ba ito tupad ito mga data. Sunod, kini. Cumulative cases. Sorry. Tugo na ko kaya 5:30 na ko na itong ini nagkadlaw. Okay na. Kita ninyo? Look at the chart. Ang chart na tanawa. Kini, Hong Kong, from 1,039 to 5,257 infections. Singapore, from 17,000 to 57,000. South Korea, from 10,000 to 25,000. Again, comparing May 1 to October 19 tonight, 9 p.m. Japan, 14,305 to 93,192. Taiwan, from 439 to 525. Philippines, sus, winner yung Philippines kanunay. From 8,772 to 359,000. Hapin ta 360,000. 360,000 di ugma. 359,169. Ang New York, badlungon sa nintaga New York, di man magmask, from 308,000 to 484,000. And yet, remember, kinsay mas susceptible ta nila? Hong Kong, because Hong Kong has a population density of 98,000 people per square kilometer. Yung giga na to, no? I mean, memorize mo na itong population density sa Hong Kong. Kag-i-predict mention tani for the last 6 months. But, unsa man akong ipakita ninyo mga charts? I'm sharing with you some insights into the results of the results of the separate country COVID-19 policies. Separate country, separate COVID-19 policies. Money results. Tanahong Philippines. Despite the fact that Philippines had a cumulative, had transportation lockdown, economic lockdown, and transportation lockdown, economic lockdown, and human lockdown. Was it worth it? No. It is not worth it. The solution is an overkill. It is not the most effective solution. And I have been saying that since the beginning. Na ang receipts na ko, research, ang feeling mga research. So muna siya mga chart. Look at those charts. Tanaw ang Pilipinas, pagsulbong sa Pilipinas, despite the fact na supposedly stricto ta. Stricto ta sa hinungdan. Look at those charts. Ang Philippines sige milain. See? Huwag man mag-lockdown. Although, awahin na kaya nagbalik-balik naman itong mga transportation nato, pero di pa na kompleto. So, muna akong gingon nga research that will give us an insight nga even the IATF cannot give us, even the DOH cannot give us, and even the provincial and local governments and the Senate and Congress cannot give us. How do we know we are a failure? These are the charts that show that we are a failure. Despite our very strict, unreasonable, draconian lockdown policies. Antod karon daghanan nga taktak sa trabaho. Mga airlines, ibang taktak ng mga kuan. Grabe. Grabe. So from the point of view of policy, we have shown here in this chart, in this data, which I painfully updated, collected. Okay, wala ka gud sa kuan sa unsa nga ni? Wala ka sa katong Johns Hopkins. Pag adlaw maglisod kag mag-trace. Kini ako gyud gibuta sa akong chart. Nagbuhat kog Excel. Not every day, but at least weekly, once every 2 weeks, or even 1 month, but to show side by side the results of these 4 countries, especially these countries, Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, who did not close their factories, or did not close their services, their accounting services, the legal services, wala man. Engineering services, architectural, shipping na yan. Agil na rin sila ang katulong leisure activities. Restaurants, bars, pero dali ra po nakabalik sila. I don't know. Ang binagod na ako, British Broadcasting na natantanaw, may gabi GT. Buisan. Merlin Indoy, nadawat na ako, salamat from Kalunasan. Yes, okay, ang humanity. Vic Ortiz from Mandawi, Juji Teves, nag-gold taan naka-gold. Naka-gold ko no. Balik na ta sa yung salamat kaya nakikuban mo na corona. Bisa gabi na. Sunsi media na. Gold taan Ilang. I actually spent a lot of time preparing this data. Useless may mina to but in my mind since the beginning I already knew how the data would look like in my mind. Sa pagsugod pa I was vociferous against that lockdown. Useless ito. I was against it. Ang Sweden, grabe na tatong Sweden, pero okay. Mask, optional sa Sweden. Anya lang nga itong Sweden, lagyo na kina. Naritas Taiwan, no? Pituray patay until now. Ang Taiwan is an open, in terms of city, it's an open society, it's a transparent society. Di ako tanaw sa China, kay ba ako nga binuang ng data sa China. Bayingon na kang na 20 million na matay siya na tuop siguro ko. Anyway, I hope nakakuha tag insight. Ano yung mga chart nga akong gi-share ninyo. Those of you interested, ako ning ma-forward ninyo sa Viber or sa my Viber. We'll make this into a PDF file, hopefully tomorrow. I spent so much time just creating this. Tanaw na to, basta simple lang yung chart, no? Pero ang time, mag-encode, plot sa area, sa chart, sa access, sa data. Although, namago na automatic na sa Excel, pero nindot sa Excel kay ang yan data, pag-design ni mo sa data, katupad bandaan, kiniwa man, lukso-lukso man. Kita bitaw sa original chart, lukso-lukso. So, ato na na-compare ang population density. Anong balik-balik ko ng population density? Okay, we're talking about contagion. Contagion is all about population. In fact, the formula for the differential equation for all of this population increases or contagious disease increases sa differential equation, the rate of expansion or the rate of infection is directly proportional to the population. That's the basic mathematics of population growth, bacterial growth, viral growth. That's the basic population. So the bigger the population per unit square kilometer should have the biggest in terms of butangan ako magagmay nga comments, pero I don't know kasi minaw ani. Sige na lang ha. So salamat yung pag-iuban ka na ako. So sinig din ako, manihapon ako eh. Paniod to pamunto ako, panihapon pa. Ano naman? Nasa naman ito atong buwan. Studio na. Ay, magsaba lagi ba eh? Kung mga kauban ba? Saba ka eh. Ay, magsaba ba? Anyway, thank you and good night. And I hope it's valuable to you ang akong i-share nga insight through the numbers as a way of proving or disproving the effectiveness, the efficacy, the efficiency of the different respective COVID-19 policies of each country, which I selected, our neighbors. And these are metropolitan cities, these are highly populated cities, and yun sana nila. Kung ina, mas nindot sila, mas ngiling sila kay kanato. Thank you and good night. Kini si Jedevent sa episode 26 sa The Jedevent's Night Show. It's the 19th of October 2020. See you tomorrow.